Hi everyone, welcome back to my newest YouTube video. I am so excited that you are here. Today I'm painting a portrait for you using acrylic markers. The markers you see here are from Shuttle Art. I received them as part of a collaboration. I have the 36 color set and the 24 color pastel set. Some shades repeat, but honestly, just a few. So overall, the color selection is really nice and quite big, as you can see. So I'm really excited to start painting. I mean, just look at this beauty, so many colors. And talking about colors, I honestly think it's very important to always prepare your swatches beforehand because later they come in really handy. Alright, so when I work with acrylic markers, I like to draw this kind of lines that you can see I'm drawing now. I am sketching where the shadows will be. And I think this is a really important step to mark those lines because later they work for you like a map, let's say. It's a map that you can follow later to know exactly where the shadows will fall. So don't worry, the pencil won't show through the markers and it's totally safe to mark things out clearly right now. Once the shadow lines are in place, I move on to adding color. I usually start with pink. I don't know why, honestly. It's just my go-to first step. Here I'm using a soft pink and in some places I am blending it out with a brush. The brush is a little bit wet, it's a very important information, and I use it so the edges aren't too harsh. Unlike the shadows, I want this pink to be softer and less defined, so the brush comes really helpful. Then I am layering the shadows that I mentioned at the beginning of the video, and as you can see, the shade that I'm using, it's pretty dark, it's still a pinkish tone, let's say, but it's pretty dark and for a reason, because I want it to be visible underneath the skin tones that I will be using for this portrait. I know it looks a little bit ugly, but honestly, just trust the process that everything will come together later. So before adding the main skin tones, what I am doing now, I lay down a slightly pinkish marker as a base. It's a subtle kind of a powdery pink and it helps everything blend more smoothly underneath the final colors. Here, I am filling in the face with my lighter skin tone, but I am carefully avoiding all the areas where I previously placed the shadows. For the shadows themselves, I am using the darker shade I chose for the skin, and in some spots, I mix the two colors together. And again, I am using the brush to help me look at a little bit less defined and more smoothly between the two colors. So once that's done, I go again with the darker shade. So as you can see here, the shadows are a little bit more defined. And if I want them a little bit less defined, I use the brush again, like over there on the forehead. Then I continue with my darker marker, but I am also using a lighter one, like on the ear, as you can see, because it was a little bit too light, the ear, so I decided to add another layer of the lighter skin tone. So the ear is darker, but not as dark as, you know, where the full shadow would fall. I hope that makes sense. Then once I am happy with my shadows, I return to my lighter main skin color again, and I use it to smooth out any streaks or uneven spots on the face, but I make sure to avoid all the areas where I know the light hits directly. This is very important because for the highlights, I use a much lighter shade. It's this really soft pastel yellow tone. It works perfectly for making all the areas where the light falls on the face. I also blend those highlights with the brush, so the lines aren't too harsh and everything stays nice and soft. As you can see, I am doing this here. I am using the brush, and the light is just really nicely placed on the face. Okay, then I go with the eyes and I fill in the whites using the same light skin tone I used before. Then I add a soft pink base on the lips. Then I colored the pink corner of the eye, and for the shadows inside the eyes I switch to a darker gray, and then I go back in with a lighter marker to clean up any lines that look too thick or too messy. I also add some of that pastel yellow I used earlier just under the eyes where the light hits. After that, I lay down a light blue base for the irises, just filling the circles, and then I switch to a purple pastel marker, and I use it only to mark the lines where I see the strongest shadow on the face, but it's only the lines. Like, I don't feel anything here. It's not like a previous part when I was filling the shadows. Here I'm only marking where the face curves, let's say, only drawing the lines. Okay, I'm going to be honest. I love blush, not only on my face, but also on my portraits. So here, I am obviously adding more pink to the face. I just love the warmth that it adds to the face, you know? And here, using the wet brush and tapping it gently on the brush tip of the marker, I just add the blush on the cheeks, around the eyes, on the nose, on the chin, to add this warmth to the face. I am also using this pink on the lips, but it's more like a base of the lips than the actual color I will choose. On the irises, I am using a mid-tone blue to mark those lines that you have in your eyes, and then I am drawing the pupils using the black color. I am also using the same color to mark the eyelashes. They are not so defined yet. I just leave them as they are, and then later I draw them a little bit more defined. Overall, for the eyes, I am switching between three blues: light, mid, and dark. I just keep adjusting them until the eyes look right. I go back to the skin and I am drawing more lines, mostly next to the purple ones, but now using a pastel blue. I also added in the areas where I think the shadow falls, but not as strongly where the purple ones. Now for the eyebrows. First, I fill them in with the darkest brown, then I add a lighter brown on top to create little hair strokes. And then I bring back the darker brown again for a little bit more definition. And now I am adding a bit of the pastel green marker, mostly right next to the areas where I used pink earlier, because it's cooling it down really nicely, and around the spots where I see the light on the face. Then I'm fixing a little bit the nose, like I didn't like the shadow. I also was missing a little bit of shadow on the nose and a little bit more of that blush. So I just decided to fix it a little bit because I wasn't too happy, and now I am happy with it. Which means we can go to the lips, and as you can see, I am using my brush again because I didn't want the lower lip to be too dark, because the rule is that the upper lip is darker than the lower lip. So that's what I am sticking to here. I am also separating them with the dark purple line, which I think works really nicely. And then I just use three colors. Again, light, middle, and dark. So the light one is for my highlights on the lips, the middle one is like my main color, let's say, and the dark one I use to create shadows on the lips. And then I just go back and forth to create the effect on the lips that I like. So as you can see, I am creating shadow in the areas that I see it, and I redefine the lips, drawing those lines that we have on the lips, and that's about it. After I added more highlights on the lips, for some reason I thought it would be time to add some white. You can do it, but to be honest, it's not so necessary to do it at this point of drawing a portrait. I feel like you can easily just add it at the end when you have everything drawn. Then I went again with the dark purple to redefine this jawline and to darken the holes in the nose, and I added my favorite part, which are freckles. I am so sorry, but for some reason my camera decided to stop cooperating right when I was drawing the freckles. I used 3 shades of brown, by the way. So the footage got a bit wonky, as you can see, but I think you get the idea. Alright, now let's just move on to the hair. I like to start with the darkest shade first. For this portrait, for the hair, I will be using 4 colors. This deep brown, then a lighter brown, a little bit orangey, a blonde yellow, and the lightest pastel yellow. So, when I was peacefully drawing with the lighter shade, my marker decided to just jump out of my hand, but it's okay. We can cover up anything with acrylic markers, which is the advantage that I really love in this kind of markers. So I just continued with this shade of brown, going a little bit hair by hair, as you can see, creating layers and volume. Then I am fixing here a little bit the hairline, and I am going with the blonde color finally. And then I just continue coloring with the blonde shade. As you can see, I go line by line, and if I see that something needs fixing, I can also stop and use another color to fix whatever I want to fix, and then I continue layering with the shade of blonde that I have chosen for this hair. Okay, let's be honest. This is a pretty time-consuming process, so I can understand that maybe not everyone would like to do it the way I do it, but honestly, this is how I enjoy it the most. I just find it so relaxing, to be honest, you know, like, oh, you can see a little bit of my hair actually on the left. Okay, let's go back to drawing. So as I was saying, for me, it's a pretty relaxing process that I enjoy a lot. And I don't know, I just enjoy taking my time with it, you know, it's just something I really like. Okay, perfect. So once I am happy with the blonde shade, I continue with highlights. And for that, I am using this pastel yellow marker that I used before on the face, and now I am using it on the hair. Once I finish with that, I continue with marking more highlights, but with the white marker. Only it's important to not use too much of the marker and use it only on the places where the light is the strongest. After that, I am drawing the hairpins, and I continue with coloring the sweater. So I am really excited about that. Like, I chose this powdery pink color for the sweater, which I think creates this like romantic kind of vibe, which I really like, and I think it matches perfectly the portrait. So something I really like is actually creating that contrast where the portrait is a little bit more detailed, or actually not a little bit more detailed, it's more detailed, and the clothing is less detailed. It's more on a sketch side, let's say. So I really like how it looks together, how it's contrasting, and I just like the overall vibe that it's creating in my drawings. So once we have that, I am drawing the stars. I'm using the orange color because I feel like, I don't know, it fits really nicely with the rest of the colors of this piece. Here my camera decided to not work with me again, but it's okay. I only did a little bit of fixing and contour of the face. Then I'm adding more details. As you can see, I am detailing the eye, I am drawing the outline of the eye, and just in general creating a little bit more like a form, shape of an eye, or around the eye, so it looks a little bit more realistic and more expressive. Then I actually fixed let's say, the eyelashes. So I didn't really like them. I covered them, and then I completely redrew them with the black pen and the black colored pencil. I keep using the pencils, but mostly for outlining, since shading on acrylic markers, in my opinion, it just doesn't look as nice as I would like. So I just continue defining everything that I feel like needs defining. So for example, I added some lines to the brows, and then I moved on to the lips, and I am also like deepening those lines that I previously drew with acrylic markers. So now I am like deepening them with the colored pencil. And then I am moving on to the hair, and using the darker shade of brown, I am adding strands to the shadowed areas of the hair. And once I am just happy with that, I continue, but with a different color. I am choosing the lighter brown over here, and what I'm doing, I'm just creating like kind of a contour, you know. I am just outlining all the clumps of hair that I see, so like bigger areas, and then I see the flyaways. And I am marking them with golden yellow pencil and some more with the light brown colored pencil. She's definitely messy-haired, maybe I will call it like this, but honestly this is something that really like got my attention when I first saw this picture. I really loved the hair, I really loved her eyes, you know, and just overall expression. So I'm having a lot of fun with this small like baby hair over here that I am drawing. It's just this hair, it feels like very alive in a way. Great, we are getting close to the finish line actually. So I outlined the sweater here with this beautiful pink shade, and I defined those textured lines again, just keeping everything loose and sketchy. Then I go back with the blonde acrylic marker to add a few more like highlighted strands on the hair. And finally, after that, when I am happy with all those beautiful strands, and I do, you know, some fixing here or there, I go with the white marker. So it comes for the brightest spots. I just draw little lines and dots wherever the light hits. And like honestly, at this point I'm just having fun with it. I am adding a white marker wherever I see the light. I am adding it on the sweater to pull everything together, as you can see I'm doing here. Then a few last freckles. And here's the finished portrait. I am so happy you stayed with me through the whole process. I hope this tutorial was helpful and inspiring, and that you stick around for future videos. I have many more coming. If you have any questions, feel free to comment, and make sure to subscribe so you don't miss the next one.